Hello, Diksha. I am Sakshi Sharma from BuzzInContent. Welcome to Spotlight.
Thank you, Sakshi. Thank you for having me here.
Our pleasure. Let's quickly introduce you to our viewers as well. Diksha Arora, a renowned content creator, has guided thousands of candidates to secure positions in top companies, specializing in interview preparation and resume building. She has offered, valuable insights on interview Q&A, optimizing LinkedIn profiles, and much more. So, is there something else that you would like to add on to?
Thank you for first of all, thank you for having me here and thank you for introducing me. And yes, these are the three services that I offer to the candidates. I help them to prepare for their interviews. I help them to prepare a strong LinkedIn profile so that they can have a strong personal branding, which eventually helps them to get spotted by the recruiters and through where they can tap maximum job opportunities for themselves. And I definitely help them to prepare a strong CV, because CV is one thing that helps them to get the foot in the door and get shortlisted and pass the pre-screening process of most of the companies, through which they can line up good opportunities for themselves. So these are the three services that I offer. And apart from that, I do have interview preparation courses that I offer, and the name of that course is called the Ultimate Interview Preparation Course,
Right.
which is a great resource for candidates to prepare themselves for interviews. And in between, I also keep on conducting workshops on interview preparation, on resume writing, on job search, touching all these aspects that can help candidates to clear their job interviews and become confident
Okay,
during
that
the interview
sounds great.
preparations. Yes.
मूविंग अहेड आपकी ये जर्नी कैसे शुरू हुई और आपने ये कंटेंट क्रिएटर बनने का कैसे सोचा?
I get this question a lot, and somehow I feel ये question मैं जितनी बार address करती हूँ, I feel emotional, because there are so many emotions and there are so many things which are attached to my journey. I completed my law from Delhi University and I was really, really good at it. Law will always be will hold always a very special place in my heart. And in fact, I was among top 1% students of my law college. I
Okay.
practiced law for good 2 years, but then there was always this passion for teaching, which was there in me. I think I get this from my mother because she is into the teaching industry for more than 35 years. So I have been brought up in an environment where I have seen her helping students through her teaching abilities. And I always had this teaching skills inside me. And during that phase, I knew that there is a dire need of helping students to clear their interviews, because when I used to sit for my college placements, I used to see that nervousness and anxiety that my friends used to go through. And somewhere, somehow, I was always very confident when it came to interviews. I used to be excited and I knew how to present myself. So I knew that there is a need for this. So during my practice, I definitely polished my communication skills, my presentation skills, my oratory skills, because these are a few skills that as a lawyer you develop, because I was a
Right.
litigating lawyer, I was a practicing lawyer, I was into litigation. So
Mhm.
that is how I decided that I want to start teaching students and I want to help them to prepare for their interviews. So
Okay.
I left law, I started teaching them in my physical institute, and it was going pretty well. But then there were lockdowns. 2020 lockdowns were very tragic for businesses as well, and my institute was no exception. It was not operational for days, and
Okay.
I was regularly receiving a lot of calls, a lot of messages from my students that they needed my help. That is how I decided to become a content creator. I
Okay.
decided to shift my entire business from an offline mode to an online mode. And that is how my journey of content creation started. And I started creating content on interview preparation and on resume writing and on LinkedIn profile, the services that I was offering. I started creating content around this on my Instagram channel and on my YouTube channel. That is how it all started. And touch wood, I think it's the best decision I've ever taken. So,
So,
yes.
from going uh, from offline to online while shifting, what were the challenges that you faced?
Challenges there I actually, Sakshi, I never call this journey to be full of challenges. I call it, on every step I feel that there were a lot of there were a lot of experiences that I went through. So
Okay.
the one challenge was, of course, that in an offline setup, you are used to and accustomed to a format, a traditional format of teaching. And when you
Mm.
shift to online, there are a few things that you have to keep in mind, like the
Mm.
video quality, the audio quality.
Right.
Then you have to be friendly with the camera, because every time you're just talking to the camera, there is no audience sitting in front of you. So these are a few things that you need to practice.
Mm.
Apart from that, I don't feel there were any other challenges, because I was so passionate about the fact that I want to create a difference in the society, and I
Mm.
genuinely want to help people to clear their interviews, that I don't even remember how it all grew so big. I just kept on working hard and hard and hard every day. I
Mm.
just kept on researching around the content, and I just kept on posting valuable content, and it just started reaching the right audience. And that is how my Instagram page also grew exponentially and in a very short span of time.
Mm.
It like I touched a sparkling milestone of 1.5 million followers in just I suppose in just 1.5 year.
Okay.
So yes, that's all about it.
Let's hope your following keeps growing.
Touch wood.
With the diverse range of topics available for interview preparation, how do you identify the most relevant and impactful ones?
Okay, so see, it's I also tell these things to my candidates, that 90% of the interview can be predicted by you only. So it's
Okay.
very important that they focus on the three most important aspects. Number one is researching about the company, because there
Mm.
will be a few questions that will be asked around the kind of mission the company has, the vision the company has, and the products and the services they are dealing into. So irrespective of the fact from whichever profile they are, certain
Mm.
standard questions like, why do you want to work here? What is your motivation? If you are given an offer from some other company, will you still work here? So these are the
Mm.
certain standard questions that will be asked. So
Okay.
researching about the company helps them to prepare for the relevant questions. Number two, which is very very important, is that digging deep into the company's expectations and understanding what
Mm.
the employer wants from them. And they can easily understand this if they read the job description thoroughly, because the job description tells the candidates that these are the expectations of the employers and
Right.
this is what they want from them. So
Mm.
it's important that they read the job description and they tailor their answers as per the employer's expectations. And
Mm.
they can easily figure out what questions the employer can ask if they go
Mm.
through the job description. And the most important part is they should be very very thorough with the
Mm.
resume.
Okay.
What mistake candidates they commit is they are very nervous about the 10% of the unpredictable questions that can be asked, and in this process they don't focus on the 90% of the predicted questions that can be asked. So I always tell them that read the resume thoroughly. Just make
Mm.
sure that whatever is written in the resume and whatever information you're sharing with the employer, you back it up with good professional stories.
Okay.
So these are a few things that
Mm.
helps to that helps in the right preparation. So
Okay.
a combination of all of this together,
Mm.
of course combined with lot of practice and lot of preparation,
Mm.
helps to create a relevant learning plans for them, and that is how they are able to clear their interviews and they are able to present themselves in the best possible manner.
All right. And I'm pretty much sure कि आपके जो भी followers हैं, if they're following your content, उनको कुछ ना कुछ help तो definitely मिली होगी. So what's the feedback that you get?
Actually, the feedback is so overwhelming. If I have approximately posted, I think 400 or 500 results of the
Okay.
students who clear their interviews, and they have cleared their interviews through the interview preparation courses that I have, and through the CV building. They have got amazing offers, and so many of them have cleared their interviews just by watching the reels and by watching the content that is on my YouTube channel. तो
Okay.
feedback तो definitely बहुत positive है. And this feedback is something that always keeps me on my toes. So I don't feel tired at all when it comes to my job, because I
Okay.
know I have a bigger responsibility on my shoulder. There are a lot of people who are waiting for the content to go live. So yes, the feedback is very positive, because I research a lot
Mm.
before every piece of content that goes live on my channel. There is a reason behind it. तो आई ऑलवेज टेल माई स्टूडेंट्स कि अगर कोई रील लाइव गई है चैनल पे, अगर कोई वीडियो लाइव गई है चैनल पे, देयर इज अ रीजन बिहाइंड इट, बिकॉज
Hmm.
इट इज इम्पोर्टेंट, दैट इज वाई इट इज देयर ऑन द चैनल.
Right.
So definitely the feedback is amazing. It's overwhelming.
Okay. And just make me understand कि ये पहले courses आप लेके आए थे and then you started making the content.
No, first I started making the content. The course, the
Okay.
ultimate interview preparation course is just launched. So
अच्छा.
first I was just creating content on interview preparation on my Instagram channel and on my YouTube page. On
Okay.
my YouTube
Because
channel and Instagram page, sorry.
Okay, because I keep talking to a lot of creators for this series. So काफी creators का ये मानना है कि किसी भी niche के influencers हैं, उनको sustain करने के लिए they need some personal branding, एक product, एक service,
Right.
कुछ एक अपनी होनी चाहिए. So what was your thought process, before launching these courses? Also, like अपना content monetize करने के और क्या तरीके हैं? Like if you want to monetize your content further, how will you do it apart from this?
See, content monetization is always the second step. The first step is to build that trust with the audience.
Mm.
So that
Mm.
connect has to be there. Your audience should resonate with the services and with the products that you're delivering. And
Right,
in my case, I already had a popularity through an offline mode. So
right.
people and candidates and students, they already knew me, but I
Mm.
had to create a digital presence.
Mm.
It was so that sort of a thing kind of helped me,
Okay.
because when I started creating content, there were a lot of students of mine who started following me and they started sharing my reel. So that is how it became popular in a short span of time.
Right.
And once that trust was built online, digitally, once that trust was built through testimonials and through word of mouth, then I started coming up with my own services and my own products. And that
Okay.
is how it got monetized, because candidates knew that if they are investing in a CV building service or if they are investing in the interview preparation course or even in a live session or a workshop, they knew that
Mm.
they're going to get a lot of value from that.
Right.
That was the whole ideology.
I also know a lot of institutes or a lot of professionals who charge people for all these things, educating them and training them. तो
Hmm.
आपने कभी फुली इसे चार्ज अप करने का सोचा या सोचा इसी से मोनेटाइजेशन आगे मैं बढ़ा लूंगी या बिकॉज योर कंटेंट इज अवेलेबल टू द पब्लिक ओके normal people can like people like me or some other person and my friends they can just view your content and learn a lot about interview preparation and how to maintain your basic LinkedIn profile तो
Hmm.
बहुत लोग इसके लिए पैसे चार्ज करते हैं सो आर यू ऑल्सो थिंकिंग टू डू दैट
I see. My mind has never been completely into the fact that I want to charge. I want to charge. This is the reason I keep on creating so much of valuable content, and it's available for everyone.
राइट
I keep on creating a lot of detailed videos for YouTube. I keep on creating a lot of content for Instagram. But of course, I do have paid services that I offer,
ओके
and there are charges for that. And because you have to maintain your website, there are a lot of
राइट
back charges that you have to maintain
राइट
because of that. And those paid content, that paid content which is available to the audience, that content is also very, very helpful. So if there is a candidate who feels that that person needs more information around interview preparation and they need that formal coaching, so that option is also available. So both the
ओके
options are available. If they want to access content for free, of course they'll get a lot of information. If they want that formal coaching, that one-on-one mentorship with me, that option is also available.
ओके
So that is how I
kind
have
of
put it out there.
you have maintained some balance
Yes, I've
right
maintained balance.
okay and like what's your process of ensuring your training content stays fresh and aligned with current industry trends
Okay, so for this, I research a lot, to be very honest. मैं सारा दिन research करती रहती हूँ. बहुत. I do a lot of research to ensure that I keep myself abreast with the latest industry trends, because when it comes to my niche in particular, it's very important that I don't miss on to anything that is currently being asked to the candidates.
right
And apart from the research, another thing that really helps is that I interact with a lot of candidates on a daily basis. So
okay
I receive a lot of phone calls, I interact with them, and there is this I would say this is a tradition. So whenever a candidate is done with his or her interview, they always give me a call.
Okay.
I share a very personal relationship with my candidates. So they always give me a call and I always ask them, okay, so what was your experience? What were the questions that were asked? And then I have this list which I keep on updating according to the experiences that they had. So this helps me to stay relevant. And
Hmm.
I keep on updating that list and I keep on creating content around that,
Okay.
because I know that this is being asked somewhere, somehow this question is important, and this
Hmm.
was the experience of this candidate. So it's important that I tell my audience that this is the new question that is being asked in most of the companies. So make sure that you prepare a correct response for that. So that
Hmm.
is how it stays relevant and fresh.
Okay. And educating and entertaining your audience through reels or short-term content is challenging, according to me. So, can you walk us through your creative strategy to strike that perfect balance?
I call it fun. Again, I call it fun.
Okay.
But of course, it can be challenging because you have to create content at the end of the day that is engaging and that is
Hmm.
captivating. So, research definitely helps a lot in this. So, I make sure that
Hmm.
I spend a lot of time in scripting, and the value that is generated from that video, from that reel, is a lot, so that the viewer who's watching that reel
Hmm.
is watching till the end. And
Right.
visual aids, graphics, having a clear text,
Hmm.
maintaining the video quality, ensuring that the audio quality is clear and crisp. These are a few more important factors that every creator has to keep in mind when they are creating captivating and engaging content. And
Hmm.
of course, wrapping up the video with a clear call to action
Hmm.
is very important.
Right.
That's something which I always do. This
Okay.
always I always tell the candidates that this is something that you
Hmm.
have to do. These are the instructions that you need to incorporate in your responses, and this will
Okay.
help you to deliver and present yourself in the best manner when you are sitting for an interview. So I
Hmm.
keep all of these things in mind whenever I post a reel or whenever I post a video on any of my digital platforms.
ओके एंड जब हम बात करते हैं डिजिटल इकोनॉमी की तो आपको सबसे पहले क्या स्ट्राइक करता है लाइक हाउ डू यू सी द रोल ऑफ कंटेंट क्रिएटर्स विद इन दिस इवॉल्विंग लैंडस्केप
Whenever I think of the digital economy, I what I envision is a what I envision is a very large landscape driven by technology and online platforms. And definitely, creators contribute a lot into this, not only by creating content that is informative and engaging, but of course, generating revenue through various monetization methods like ads, subscriptions, sponsorships. So creators contribute into the digital economy and the digital space by providing that vibrancy
राइट
to the digital economy. So indeed, the contribution is a lot. And yes.
ओके एंड बीइंग अ क्रिएटर आई एम गेसिंग दैट आपके पास ब्रांड कोलैबोरेशंस भी बहुत आती होंगी सो व्हाट काइंड ऑफ ब्रांड्स डू यू चूज आपकी क्या प्रायोरिटी रहती है व्हाइल यू चूज ब्रांड्स फॉर कोलैबोरेशन
My topmost priority is always to see that the brand that I'm collaborating with, I'm communicating a clear message, and I resonate with their vision. And another thing which is very important in my case is, which I always check, is of course the demographics. I always see that the audience is relevant, because if the audience is not relevant, then it will just lead to disengagement. So this is something which is very important whenever you're collaborating with a brand. And another thing which is important for every creator is, of course, to see that you are not putting any misleading information out there, because as a creator, your audience trusts you a lot. So if there is anything which is coming from you, it has to be authentic. So that
राइट
authenticity is very important. So of course, I do my research, I do my due diligence, and I see that whatever I'm promoting and I'm whatever message I'm communicating, it is 100% authentic, and my audience is getting benefit from that.
Okay. And do you also face challenges while collaborating with certain brands? I'll give you a background for this
Okay.
because काफी creators ये भी बोलते हैं बिसाइड्स उनका नीश क्या है क्या नहीं है वो काफी क्रिएटर्स का ये कॉमन स्टेटमेंट था जब मैंने इंटरैक्ट किया कि हमारी क्रिएटिविटी लूज आउट होती है बिकॉज ब्रांड्स एक स्पेसिफिक स्क्रिप्ट फॉलो करने को कहते हैं हमको वो हम नहीं कर सकते वी
Mhm.
हैव टू डू इट थोड़ा मिड वे पे आना पड़ता है एंड वी हैव टू डू इट, बट दैट इज नॉट हाउ ब्रांड शुड वर्क विद क्रिएटर्स. मतलब दोनों को बैलेंस आउट करना चाहिए. तो व्हाट डू यू हैव टू से अबाउट दिस?
See, of course, at times it happens that there are certain guidelines and very clear instructions from the brand that you receive, and you have to follow that. But in my case, I have always been very clear about the fact that I'm not going to say something which is not authentic. So that flexibility should be present. And I have never faced any such sort of imposition in my case where a brand is imposing and is telling me that you have to say this. I haven't faced any such experience. I don't have any such experience.
Okay.
So I, even if there is a deadlock, I always try to set up a meeting and I always try to communicate that this is my thought process. And I feel because I know my audience, I know their pain points. If we will try to, mold the message, or if we'll try to have such sort of a script wherein they are understanding where they are able to understand my point of view, we'll get better results because I know the dynamics. I know how what works and what doesn't work. So through meetings and through phone calls, we've always come at a point where even the brand understands, and I get that flexibility to keep my creativity intact. So
Okay.
yes.
And if we talk about regional creators, they are making a significant impact in the content space. So,
Right.
how do you see the synergy between brands and regional creators contributing to both their growth and brands outreach?
Definitely through brand collaborations, regional creator the regional creators, they are getting they're getting a lot of, they can see a lot of growth also. And moreover, the synergy between them, I would say, is it's everything is very positive because the brands, through tapping the right creator, they get the right target audience, and they are able to get that visibility that they want for their product or for their service. And in return, the creator also gets the right amount of growth that creator deserves. So the balance and the connection is amazing.
Okay.
So it's great the way it works.
ओके. एंड इफ वी टॉक अबाउट कंटेंट ट्रेंड्स, तो वो कौन से ऐसे लेटेस्ट कंटेंट ट्रेंड्स हैं जिन पे आप काम कर रहे हैं अपने नीश के अंदर?
Okay, so see, when it comes to my niche, the trends, I don't actually follow any sort of trends that are there on Instagram, because
Okay.
I know that there are a few trends that you use this music and the reach will be more. Do a certain sort of a dance move and your content will go viral. Because the kind of content I create, it's purely educational.
Right.
The trends that I follow is related to the industry trends. So I always make sure the interview question that I'm putting on my channel, or if there is any other important piece of information that is going live on my channel, it is related to the current industry standards.
Okay.
So this is the trend that I follow to make
Got it.
my content relevant.
Got it. बट आपको नहीं लगता कि इफ यू डोंट डू समथिंग, समटाइम्स इफ यू डोंट डू समथिंग हटके, तो रील्स थोड़ी मोनोटोनस हो जाती होंगी? आई एम नॉट सेइंग योर कंटेंट इज बोरिंग, बट वो कॉन्सेप्ट थोड़ा मोनोटोनस हो जाता होगा.
वही तो एक क्रिएटर का टैलेंट है. दैट इज द टैलेंट ऑफ अ क्रिएटर. यू हैव टू कीप योर कंटेंट एंगेजिंग. ये I would say that it's a sort of a myth that most of the creators they have in their mind, and they really take too much of stress, and उनके ऊपर हमेशा ये चीज रहती है, हमें ये ट्रेंड को फॉलो करना ही करना है.
राइट. राइट.
वो करने की जरूरत नहीं है. यू बी द ट्रेंड सेटर. In my case, I have done that. I have never followed any trend that is, working on Instagram. And yet, touch wood, the reels perform really well. Like every reel is above 500K. So the views are also pretty good. So at the end of the day, what matters is that the content that you are putting out there, it is authentic, it is informative, and it is reaching the right audience. If it is reaching the right audience, it will become viral. Why a content becomes viral? It becomes viral when people save that content, when people share that content. So if you are sharing content that is value oriented, people will save it, people will share it, and you will create trends of your own rather than merely following trends. So rather than following trends, create your own trends.
So, also the creator economy is reshaping commerce.
Right.
and like with concepts like social commerce and influencer-led marketing. So what do you think about that?
डेफिनेटली बहुत चेंज आ चुका है. जैसे पहले अगर किसी किसी के पास कोई प्रोडक्ट या सर्विस अगर कोई लॉन्च करता था, उसको प्रमोट करने के कुछ स्टैंडर्ड या ट्रेडिशनल मेथड्स थे.
Hmm.
जैसे एड्स पोस्ट कर दी ऑनलाइन, सिंपली एड्स पोस्ट कर दिए, पोस्टर्स लगा दिए. सो दोज वर द
Hmm.
मेथड्स that
Right.
businesses they used to promote their products or services.
Hmm.
Now, because the creator economy is expanding exponentially, what brands prefer is reaching out to influencers and and investing in influencer marketing. And
Hmm.
this is amazing. Why? Because जब brand एक right influencer को target करता है,
Hmm.
वो एक ऐसे influencer को जब target करता है, वो ऐसी audience के पास पहुंच सकता है जो उसकी target audience है, which is not possible through any other medium of advertisement.
Right.
It's not at all possible. सो
Hmm.
फॉर एग्जाम्पल, अगर आज की डेट में मुझे एक रेस्टोरेंट खोलना है, लेट्स टेक एन एग्जाम्पल, अगर मुझे कैफे खोलना है, व्हाट इज द
Hmm.
फर्स्ट थिंग दैट कम्स टू माई माइंड? द फर्स्ट थिंग दैट कम्स टू माई माइंड इज आई शुड हैव एन इंस्टाग्राम पेज. I
Hmm.
need a digital presence.
Hmm.
Or
Hmm.
the next step would be I need to speak to certain food influencers or people who are in this niche. Once they'll start posting about the cafe that I'm opening, or they'll come here, or they'll say the food is nice, they'll do the review, I'll gain that popularity. And that customers and that word of mouth will spread, and customers will start coming. So
Hmm.
the entire dynamics through which promotions used to happen, it has undergone a drastic change. And even brands, when they collaborate with the right influencer who has got the right target audience, they
Hmm.
see amazing results. Yes, it's everything that is going. I mean, it's towards the positivity. The direction is very positive.
Okay. And also, Diksha, when we talk about the courses that you have launched,
Mhm.
तो उनमें क्या distinction है, कितने courses हैं, and are I'm sure the prices must be economical because it's about educating people. So just shed light on that. Firstly, also आप कोई नया course launch करने का सोच रहे हैं या हमें कुछ नया देखने को मिल सकता है, तो उसके बारे में भी बताइए.
Abhi, currently, total, there are 4 programs that are there on my website. Number one is the Ultimate Interview Preparation course that I
Hmm.
just told you about. Then there are 2 services on CV building. One is for the freshers, and other is for experienced professionals. And
Okay.
then there's a master program available. The master program is the combination of all these services. So you get a CV in that, you get a cover letter, you get
Hmm.
2 live sessions with me, you get a mock interview session, and you get LinkedIn profile optimization. So
Okay.
these are the 4 courses which are right now present.
Hmm.
And apart from this, of course, I there are a lot of other courses and there are a lot of other things which are in pipeline.
Hmm.
So definitely they're going to be there. I am aggressively working on that. It's just that कि ये courses को launch करने में बहुत time लगता है. जैसे कि जो interview preparation course मैंने launch करा, उस पे मेरे को approximately 2.5 years लगे उसको complete करने
Okay.
में.
Okay.
After that, I was able to launch it.
Hmm.
क्योंकि बहुत रिसर्च इन्वॉल्व है, बहुत कुछ इसमें इन्वॉल्व है. आई हैव टू नेटवर्क विद लॉट ऑफ पीपल, आई हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड कि किस तरीके से क्या क्या चीजें लेटेस्ट इसमें डालनी है, एंड आई हैव टू कंटिन्यूअसली कीप ऑन अपडेटिंग दैट. But
Hmm.
yes, of course, I will be coming up with another course very soon, which would be another course on job search, on salary negotiation, and on interview preparation again, so that candidates keep on getting information and keep on getting all the important content that they need, and they can clear their interviews.
तो
So
ये
yeah.
कोर्सेज का ड्यूरेशन क्या रहता है?
So the interview preparation course is a recorded course, and it has got
Okay.
12 hours of exclusive content on interview preparation. And जो
Hmm.
CV building or LinkedIn profile है, that is a service. So in
Okay.
that case, the candidate enrolls for the service, and they directly get in touch with me, and
All
I
right.
prepare the CV.
Okay.
I
Okay.
prepare the CV, I update the LinkedIn profile and give it to them within 4 to 5 working days. So
Okay.
that works.
And do you single-handedly do all this research या आपकी कोई team है? If you have a team, so what does your team look like?
I do have a team. Of course, it's not possible to work alone. As
Hmm.
an entrepreneur, you need to have a vision. And in fact, this is one of the mistake that I committed for a very long period of time, because I have this habit of doing everything on my own. Like
Right.
धीरे धीरे even I realized it's not possible.
Hmm.
As an entrepreneur, you need to focus on the core aspects of your business, and the other things can be delegated.
Right.
I do have a team that supports me, but
Hmm.
the major research and the scripting is completely in my hands. I don't
Hmm.
give it to anybody else.
I would call you a creatorpreneur, not an entrepreneur. And lastly, I would like to ask you कि आपके नीच में आई एम वेरी मच श्योर पर्सनली मैंने बहुत लोगों को नहीं देखा ऐसा कंटेंट बनाते, बट आई एम श्योर और लोग कर रहे होंगे, इस पे कंटेंट बनाते होंगे. तो
Mhm.
व्हाट सेट्स यू अपार्ट? ऐसी वो क्या चीज है कि आपके जो कंटेंट है वो क्लिक हो जाता है ऑडियंस से?
That's a very tough question, I would say. I'll just say that it's just the love and appreciation that I've received from my audience sets me apart.
ओके.
They get a lot of value and lot of benefit from my content, and it is genuinely because I put a lot of hard work for every reel that goes live on my channel. I don't take my job for granted. I know if I have to put a reel, it has to be backed up by strong research. There is not even a single video on my channel which I have put half-heartedly.
ओके.
No. So I think this is something that sets me apart. The hard work and the consistency.
आई एम वेरी मच श्योर वो आपके फॉलोइंग में और इन सब में रिफ्लेक्ट हो रहा है कंटेंट में.
Thank you so much.
तो दीक्षा, थैंक यू सो मच फॉर जॉइनिंग अस. आपसे बात करके बहुत मजा आया, मुझे काफी कुछ सीखने को मिला आपसे.
Thank
सो
you.
थैंक्स अ लॉट.
Thank you. It was
सो
great being here.